wanting to just engage in a level that that supports your health and well-being. I mean, the content for tonight is talking about the rhyme and rhythm of healthy living. And when I talk about the rhyme and rhythm, there is a rhyme and rhythm in which we go about day-to-day life in terms of, you know, how we move our body and what we choose to do. And so that's where really it breaks down to your rhyme and rhythm, or what is the time, frequency, and intensity that you are committing to day-to-day life to support your health and well-being. So let's just take a step back and consider the commitments that are required in terms of time, frequency, and intensity for an Olympic athlete or a pro athlete, right? I mean, I know somebody who spent on the Super Bowl game, it was 2 years ago, they spent around $3,500 on their ticket to the game, for one ticket. And so if you look at that, those athletes, in terms of their commitment to time, frequency, and intensity as it relates to their training and their skill set, right? Has this been a lifelong journey for them? Have they been showing up to practice every day? Have they been listening to their coaches? Have they been following through with every training exercise and focusing on their agility and their speed and their reaction time and their fundamentals as it relates to their sports? Are they just picking and choosing, right? Are they showing up a half an hour late? You know, are they making choices in terms of the foods and the nutrition that they give to their body? Or are they saying, oh, today doesn't matter, right? When it comes to a pro athlete where we are willing to spend $3,500 on a ticket to see them perform, you can bet that they have made a commitment to the time, frequency, and intensity at a very high level in order for them to perform and be their best, right? And they also get paid that way. You know, you can look at the same with performing arts, right? Musicians, dancers, writers. I have a coach who was trained as a classical musician on the violin. And he said when he was learning a new piece, what would happen is he would go through the entire piece the first day, and then his trainer or teacher would, the next consecutive days, line by line, he would have to learn each line to perfection before he could go on to the next line. And so with some of these musical pieces that he was learning as a classical musician, it would take him months to learn one piece. So again, when you think about, it takes, you know, what is the saying, thousands of hours to build a skill set at a professional level. Again, what's the time, frequency, and intensity and commitment to that, right? We can look at academics, look at professors, scholars, doctors, surgeons, chiropractors, right? What was their commitment in the day-to-day when they were showing up for school and applying themselves to be their best and to engage in a way where they could really bring a skill set to their profession? You know, let's talk parenting, right? I think everyone has children, grandchildren, you know, nieces, nephews, where as parents, you have to be 100% in, no matter how those kids are behaving, no matter what those kids are doing. You are invested in them and committed to them in terms of time, frequency, intensity, so that they can grow and develop and really express themselves to their best as they get older, right? So I love the concepts of time, frequency, intensity as it relates to what we do, but also our health and our body, right? Because I don't think we've ever really considered looking at our body and our health through a lens of what is the time, what is the frequency, what is the intensity that I am applying to myself, my body, in day-to-day life, that in the spectrum of health and disease, that's going to put me in this realm as I get older. So let's just take a step back and look at chiropractors, because I'm a chiropractor. And so, and you guys are getting chiropractic care. And I want you guys to understand that chiropractic is a different realm. It's a different paradigm in terms of our medical health care that we live, that we consider traditional in this country. We are alternative, where our traditional healthcare allopathy is really designed to diagnose, to locate pathology or what's wrong and treat for that pathology, right? We want to identify what's the disease, what's causing the disease, get rid of the disease, okay? Chiropractic is very different. We're looking at the individual as what is keeping this person from health, and how can we create a more resilient, healthy, adaptable system so that this person can express health in a more vitalistic way. So our founder asked the question, not why is that person sick, but why is that person healthy amidst a sick community, right? Because we want to study health. And so that is the basis of chiropractic, and our philosophy is really understanding the body and understanding what creates health within the body. So we're not merely looking to diagnose a disease, right, and treat a disease, but what can we do to support and approach health? So what does a healthy body do, right? A lot of people think health in terms of I'm feeling good. But health is so much bigger than that. And I want you to think of it in terms of your body, right? What does optimal health mean? How are you moving? What's your range of motion and flexibility? What's your focus and concentration look like? How are you sleeping? What's your ability to perform your day-to-day activities, right? What does your energy look like? Do you wake up in the morning with vitality and you are ready to go, or are you sluggish, right? That is health, where we're really looking at what's optimal health, not just how you feel, right? We don't want you just to be average. We want you to experience a level of vitality, right? And the focus is always, how do you create a healthy internal environment, right? A healthy host is unable to incubate or allow for disease to spread within the body. I think that's one of the challenges that I've had with mainstream media, is that, when it comes to COVID, the conversation has really been, well, your options are stay at home, quarantine, social distance, which I don't like social distancing. I like spatial distancing, because we don't want to remove ourselves from our social environment, our community, which is so vital for health. So spatial distancing. And guess what? We need to wait for a vaccine, right? There's no conversation about what can create a more resilient host, so that if you are exposed, whether it's COVID, the virus, or it's a flu, a cold, a bacteria, whatever it may be, you are resilient and adaptable, that that disease will not be able to incubate and spread within the system. So there's lots of conversations and things you can do around that. But again, understand that is the chiropractic realm in which we are viewing the world, is how can we create health? And that's what the salutogenic model is. Traditional healthcare is allopathy, pathology, the study of what causes disease and the treatment of that. Chiropractic is under salutogenesis, which is the birth of health, what creates health, right? So understanding we have those two branches, and our conversation is around time, frequency, intensity commitments. My question for you is, when it comes to surgery and rehabilitation of, low back surgery, knee surgery, hip surgery, heart surgery, C-sections, right? What are the commitments involved for recovery and rehabilitation of that, right? Because it takes pretty considerable commitment to showing up and being very intense with a level of frequency to help with your recovery with surgery rehab. I know with heart disease, they do bypass surgery. If we're really wanting to support an individual not going down that road again, right? We want to teach them how to move their body, the right nutritions and foods that they can eat, stress management, connecting with a community. And it is a process that happens every day from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed. If you've ever had anybody you've known who's had an addiction, I had a neighbor who lived upstairs 30 plus years now, clean of alcohol. And he still attends his AA meetings every morning at 6:30, 30 plus years in. Why? Because it is a level of commitment required so that he doesn't fall back into the behaviors and the choices that got him into that alcohol addiction to begin with. And who is he surrounding himself with? Who is he talking to? What is he reading, right? I mean, it is a commitment. It is a job to really choose a lifestyle that is of health and vitality, especially when you're talking to, when I talk to my neighbor of, who's still showing up for that. Even if we look at obesity, right? Obesity, you don't gain 50, 100, 150 pounds overnight. You gain it over time. And so we are in a culture of quick fixes. We don't want to commit to these principles of time, frequency, intensity. We want to lose it. We want to lose those 10, 20 pounds in 7 days. So we do these, crazy detoxes or these crazy diets that can be really detrimental to our health. But it didn't happen overnight, right? It happened over a period. And you can even look at obesity as a commitment of time, frequency, intensity, of a way of living your life in a very specific way. So if you want a different outcome, it requires something that's very different, right? So again, I just love this conversation around what are you committed to in your day-to-day life and what is your end goal? If you really want to experience health and vitality, that requires different choices. And it requires choices that, not a lot of people are making. I love this slide because I asked the question, what's the #1 killer in America? And people will say heart disease. Heart disease is the #1 killer. And guess what? Yes, it is. And what got us there in that first place? And I was just actually reading a research article that was talking about personal decisions are killing us. The actual #1 killer in America is our uninformed choices. My coach calls it stupidity, but it's making choices over and over and over and over that we know are not good, healthy choices, but it's just what's easy. It's what everyone else is doing. It's comfortable. And that is actually what is creating, really an unhealthy America, is our continued choices of uninformed choices, right? So here's the thing. Discipline, when you are disciplined in your choices and in your commitments, that equals freedom. Freedom for you to move your body, freedom for you to make different choices, for you to engage in your community in a different way. You know, you talk about anybody who has a chronic disease or, you know, who has comorbidities, right? Has diabetes, has high blood pressure, has high cholesterol. Their choices and what they're able to do, very different than somebody who is taking care of their health and their body consistently and able to do very different things, right? So when you choose the discipline to start taking care of your health in a different way, that indicates a level of freedom for you to live a different lifestyle. Maybe you won't notice it now, but maybe in 10, 20 years, when you are able to, you know, dance or move your body or play with your grandchildren or do all of these things, that's a level of freedom. And consistency is really good healthcare. You know, traditional healthcare, it's not healthcare, it's emergency care. And so when you are consistent with the choices that you make every day that move you in this spectrum towards health, that's good healthcare. And I believe as long as you are breathing, you have the potential for more vitality. You have the potential to express health in a different way. But it requires, you know, that responsibility and, you know, really that informed choice to create a healthier body. So that's what I want you to think about, you guys, is, you know, what are you doing in terms of, you know, day-to-day choices consistently, and where is it putting you on the spectrum of health and disease, right? Because we're all making consistent choices. We're doing that the moment we wake up and have a conscious thought and we go into our routines and behaviors until the moment we lay down, right? What are we choosing in terms of our thoughts to start the day, the foods that we're eating, how we're moving our body, what we're watching, what time we go to bed, who we're engaging with, right? All of those things will contribute to, you know, health or disease. Oh, look at me, I've got some time left, you guys. I started early, or I started late, and I got all this time. It's so great. So let's just talk about it in terms of chiropractic. We have something called 33 principles in chiropractic, and it's our philosophy in which we choose to render care and the lens in which we view the world, right? My lens is we have this intelligence within, right? And we have this source of life that is contributing to how we express ourselves. And we cut ourselves, and guess what? We don't have to think about it. We don't have to do anything, but this life within knows exactly what to do to heal that cut. And that is what we're working with in chiropractic, is how can we allow for that innate intelligence to better express itself through our structure and through our body. So you guys have heard me say this, but every 9 months, we have a brand new body. Our cells don't cure themselves, they regenerate and replicate themselves, which is amazing, right? So that means that 9 months from now, if you choose to make a commitment in terms of time, frequency, intensity to be healthier in a specific way, 9 months from now, you can change at the cellular level how your body is expressing itself, right? You can't, there's no cures out there. Your body has the ability to express health differently. It takes different choices. And so that's where, you know, we go to what did initial care look like for, you know, people who just got started in chiropractic, right? Some people it was 6, 9, some people it was 12 months of work, and that was considered initial care because we need to change what your body has thought to be normal for so long. And some people are unwilling to make those commitments to showing up and getting adjusted and allowing for a better brain-body connection and allowing for a different expression of health. So, I mean, for you guys, you know, Greg, you've been getting adjusted for 18 years. I don't know, you can probably tell me specifically, which is amazing. I mean, Lori, you've been getting adjusted with me for, I don't know, years too, which is amazing, right? And that consistency of showing up on a weekly basis, that is contributing to your health and vitality. And there is no process that does not require time. And you guys are committing to that time piece in terms of your chiropractic care. And I challenge you, what more can you do for you guys to really experience another level of health and vitality? Because once you're consistent in one thing, it's easy to add on another piece. You can't just take all the things and try and do all the things. That would be overwhelming. And that'd be overwhelming, exhausting, and be overload. So let me see here. Okay, it is 6:15. I know this was a shorter workshop, but I just want to take a moment and just appreciate you guys who showed up tonight when I was 6 or 7 minutes late, because showing up at workshops is also a part of your commitment to becoming a more informed individual. It continues to reinforce all of those good decisions that you want for your body and your health, and you want for your family. And so I really appreciate you guys showing up tonight, because as soon as we feel good, things aren't dangerous anymore, we fall back into those old habits, right? Oh, the pain is gone. I don't need to stretch, or I don't need to do those movements anymore, or those supplements aren't as big of a deal. And then slowly we realize, oh, it's been a couple weeks, couple months. Oh, it's back. I guess I should have kept those things up, right? Feeling is a great reminder as to why these things are so important, but the feeling piece is such a small piece of it. So when you are consistent with the choices that you make, with showing up and getting adjusted, with choosing healthy, nutrient-dense food, with taking your supplements, with choosing to do your, you know, your stretching and your exercises, when you're engaging in healthy and really great conversation with your community, those are all things that are consistent and equal really great healthcare for your brain and body. So I appreciate you guys. I so value the fact that you are part of my community, and you know, you're showing up here and showing up weekly really inspire me to be better in every way. And my challenge to you is, you know, what thing in your life do you feel like you can choose to do in a more consistent way, with committing to time, frequency, intensity that will support better health. I'm going to ask Greg, I'm going to ask you, Lori, I'm going to ask you, Gloria, I'm going to ask you when I see you tomorrow, what that thing is for you. So I love and appreciate you guys. Thanks for showing up tonight. And any takeaways?